Phil Jackson was the head coach with a record of 11 NBA championship titles. He was always the brains behind letting the best basketball player, Michael Jordan, showcase his talent on the field. Phil Jackson's smart knowledge of basketball and Michael's natural talent were intended to help win many NBA championships for the Chicago Bulls. Jackson used what was called the triangle offense, and one of his special skills in utilizing top players helped make Michael's career legendary. Today, we look at how Phil Jackson influenced Michael's career, including the exciting Chicago Bulls playoff games and championships of the 1990s. Phil Jackson is considered the most successful coach in the history of the NBA. He won 6 of his 11 championship rings with the Chicago Bulls and 5 with the LA Lakers. His victory, however, does not count just the titles he has received. Jackson was able to train lone stars such as Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Kobe Bryant, and Shaquille O'Neal, which made him great. His signature coaching system, the triangle offense, was the foundation for team chemistry and championship-level success. What makes Jackson's career even more impressive is his influence on 2 of the most iconic players in NBA history, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Today, we'll focus on how Jackson's approach, particularly with the triangle offense, molded Jordan's career and helped the Bulls establish a dynasty in the 1990s. We will examine how this offense operated, who the key players were, and what the defining plays from the playoff series in determining the Bulls' run for championships. Phil Jackson and the triangle offense with the Chicago Bulls. Phil Jackson introduced the triangle offense, created by assistant coach Tex Winter, which was a crucial factor in transforming the Chicago Bulls into a strong championship team. It is based on spacing, moving the ball, and making good decisions. It facilitated the Bulls using their offense appropriately and made it tough for the defense to keep up. The offense didn't just rely on Michael Jordan. They used the space well by forming a triangle with the ball holder, one player near the basket and another on the side. This configuration of players presented multiple scoring options and kept the game interesting. One key attribute of the triangle was its emphasis on ball movement and player movement without the ball, which enabled players such as Scottie Pippen and John Paxson to have bigger roles. For example, Paxson scored 20 in Game 5 of the 1991 NBA Finals using this offense. The Bulls led the league in 3 consecutive championships offensive rating, with a rating of 115.5 in 1991. It was through teamwork, Dan's skill, and help from key players that the Bulls won 6 NBA championships under the coaching of Jackson. Key role players in the Bulls' success. Michael Jordan was the main star, but Phil Jackson knew that winning championships required a full team effort. His coaching paid huge attention to crucial role players. Their importance for the Bulls' success has nothing to be said about Scottie Pippen, who was the ideal partner for Jordan on defense and offense. In the Bulls' first 3 championships, Pippen scored an average of 19.9 points, with 7.2 rebounds and 5.9 assists each game. His strong defense and good understanding of basketball made him the main defender against the other team's best players. At the same time, his skill in helping with the offense let Jordan focus on scoring. Dennis Rodman assisted the Bulls to win back-to-back championships 3 times in a row. In the 1995-96 season, he averaged an impressive 15.3 rebounds per game. Rodman's defense and energy were very important for stopping the other team from getting more chances and for keeping important possessions. His unmatched effort gave the Bulls an advantage, especially in the playoff. A key contributor to the First Three-Peat, Horace Grant played both defense and offense. In the 1993 season, Grant averaged 12.8 points and 8.6 rebounds per game, as his consistent mid-range shooting and defense opened up space for perimeter players Jordan and Pippen. John Paxson and Steve Kerr were crucial as good shooters. Paxson's winning shot in the 1993 finals and Kerr's important jumper in 1997 happened because Jackson trusted them to do well in tough moments. Paxson had a shooting rate of 52.8% in 1993, and Kerr had 45.4% from long distance in 1997, which helped make the triangle offense work well. He helped the Bulls' offense with his ability to make plays and score during their second three-peat. He could shoot from distance, averaging 13.2 points per game in the 1996 season, which made it a little tougher for defenses. He was also a great bench player for the Bulls. Each of these players supported Jordan, but they each also had key roles in creating the Bulls' success under Jackson's guidance, defensive mastery, and team chemistry. Phil Jackson was smart in ways beyond defense alone. He made the Chicago Bulls one of the the NBA's best defensive teams in their championship years. During his tenure, the Bulls often had a high defensive rating. They ranked first in the league in the 1995-96 season at a 101.8 mark. Jordan and Pippen were key factors, playing on the outside as one of the NBA's elite defensive pairs, averaging 2.1 steals per game during the 1995-96 season. Pippen, along with Jordan, who added 2.2 steals, were apt to disrupt the opposing offenses and spark fast break opportunities. Rodman and Horace Grant were both critical of the painting. Rodman, who averaged 14.9 boards per game in the 1996 playoffs, dominated the glass and took away some second-chance opportunities from opponents. Grant, during the first three-peat, was also supported by strong interior defense. He blocked 1.6 shots per game in the 1992-93 season. Jackson's coaching philosophy, incorporating mindfulness and Zen principles, brought togetherness and responsibility to the team. This balanced approach helped to cope with Jordan's strong competitiveness and allowed Pippen to become a vocal leader. As a result, the Bulls handled the pressure well and kept focused and together, especially in close games during the playoffs. The triangle offense. Why it was special. The triangle offense was revolutionary because it didn't concentrate only on bringing the ball to a superstar, such as Michael Jordan. Its fluid structure allowed the players to perceive and react right away to what the defense was doing, hence making it very hard for the opponents to guess what the Bulls would do next. That adaptability gave an enormous competitive advantage. Any of those players could be a scoring threat and not just a superstar. The offense didn't just depend on Jordan, it revolved around him, but it played to everybody else's strengths. The best example of how well the triangle worked was in Game 6 of the 1997 NBA Finals, when the game was at its critical moment with a Jordan pass to Steve Kerr for the winning shot. This play reflected how the system allowed all the players to really do something great when it mattered most. Phil Jackson's early impact on Michael Jordan. When Phil Jackson became the Bulls head coach in 1989, Michael Jordan was already a well-known star. But with Jackson's help, Jordan changed from a player who scored a lot on his own into a leader for the team. Jackson's idea was clear. For the Bulls to win championships, Jordan had to trust his teammates and focus more on the team. Jackson's use of the triangle offense was very important for this change. It saved some of Jordan's energy by not needing to fight constantly to get isolation shots. It helped in creating much better spacing, which resulted in cleaner looks at the basket when the team needed Jordan to score. The Bulls won 3 in a row from 1991 to 1993, making Phil Jackson among the top coaches in the NBA. His clever tactics, particularly the triangle offense, and his composed way of managing players saw the team through some intense playoff games. In 1991, the Bulls beat their old foe, the Detroit Pistons, winning all games against them in the Eastern Conference Finals. The strong performance translated into the NBA Finals, where the Bulls defeated Magic Johnson's Los Angeles Lakers in 5 games to give Michael Jordan his first championship. Jordan was named the last edition of the NBA Finals MVP at 31.2 points, 11.4 assists, and 6.6 rebounds per game. In 1992, the Bulls ended up in the finals with the Portland Trail Blazers. With Jackson's system in place, Jordan scored 6 three-pointers in the first half of Game 1. Chicago won the series, sweeping it in 6 games. Jordan was named to win Finals MVP for the second straight year, averaging 35.8 per game. By 1993, the Bulls were nearly unbeatable. They played against Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns in the finals, and Jordan was absolutely magnificent, scoring an average of 41 points per game throughout the series. The Bulls thus ensured their 3rd successive championship victory, and Jackson's technique during the playoffs, play-by-play consistency in keeping the team focused and balanced, was called upon to engender his reputation as an excellent coach. Shockingly, after the 1993 title, Jordan walked away from basketball. During his 5-year absence, Phil Jackson remained at the helm of the Bulls, but the team did not do as well without their best player. In 1995, Jordan returned, and Jackson quickly brought the triangle offense back in and rebuilt the team around Jordan's new focus. Maybe Phil Jackson's best moments as a coach happened during the three-peats of the Bulls between 1996 and 1998. By this period, Michael Jordan had grown to become a mature player, and the game plan of Phil Jackson was well suited for the skills of Michael Jordan. This led them to a great performance that further strengthened their legacies. The Bulls set an NBA record for the best season ever in 1996, winning 72 games in the regular season and finishing with a good 72-10 record. They carried out that outstanding performance into the playoffs as Chicago won comfortably with a 15-3 record, sweeping the Seattle Supersonics 6 games straight in the NBA Finals. Jordan averaged 27.3 points in the series and won his 4th Finals MVP. In 1997, the Bulls faced the Utah Jazz in the Finals. Jordan played his famous flu game in Game 5, in which he scored 38 points despite being extremely ill. Jackson's ability to manage these tense situations meant the Bulls won again in 6 games. Again, Jordan averaged 32.3 points in the finals, winning his 5th MVP award. The 1998 season probably constituted the most thrilling season of all. The Bulls were again replaying against the Utah Jazz in the finals. Jackson's leadership was crucial during these tension-filled times, especially Game 6. He was needed during the closing moments of Game 6 when Jordan's famous last shot over Brian Russell won the 6th championship for Chicago. Jordan averaged 33.5 points per game in the series, winning his 6th Finals MVP. While Jackson's ability to manage the mental and tactical side of the game was instrumental in completing the Bulls' second three-peat, Michael Jordan also learned a lot from Phil Jackson. He taught the triangle offense and encouraged teamwork, and by this, Jordan became his best self. He gave Jordan enough space to let him grow as a top scorer and leader because his coaching method was so calm. Jordan, under Jackson, did wonders in the court and made great choices at crucial moments. They had established a squad that would be remembered in NBA history for all eternity. That's the greatest coach in the NBA after the GOAT. If you enjoyed this piece on the greatest NBA coach after the GOAT, please do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth basketball content. And make sure to tell us in the comments what you think made Phil Jackson special. More stories about the greatest athletes and coaches in history are coming up with Sports Stars Recap.